Okay, CBT, Cognitive Behavioural Therapy. We're not going to go into great depth about it. It's very, very useful. It's a very powerful technique. There's a whole wide range of different skills. Basically, it's all to do with thoughts, feelings, behaviours. And they're all interlinked, but we're not going to go into that now. What we're going to do, where we talked about thinking errors before, we're going to link that in. Now, there's something called the ABC model of CBT. Sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? But A is the activating event, B is our belief about that event, and C is the consequence of those two put together. So, for example, if somebody was scared of spiders and they see a spider, that's the activating event. The consequence for people that are scared of spiders is fear. They'll run away. They'll panic, whatever it is. Now, it's not necessarily just seeing that spider of its own accord, that's caused the consequence, that's caused the fear. It's their belief about that spider. So if anybody genuinely believed that spider was going to attack them and run up their trouser leg and bite them on the backside and lay eggs in their hair and all the rest of it, then it's perfectly understandable they're going to get scared. We can't change the fact that we've seen it. We can only change our belief about it. So what we do is we add a D onto there and we begin to dispute those old belief structures. Now, quite often those belief structures will be centered around some of the thinking errors that we talked about in the last module. So, for example, somebody sees a spider, that's the activating event. The belief is it's going to bite them. The consequence is fear. So they can begin to dispute that belief structure. Well, I've never been bitten by a spider before. In fact, I don't know anybody else that has. There aren't any poisonous spiders native to this country. There is no universal law that says all spiders are going to bite Chris Fleet. All of a sudden, the consequence changes. You know, when I look at it a different way, then all of a sudden it takes a lot of the fear away from it. Now, the danger with this is, you know, we can see a spider and say, oh, well, actually, look, I'm bigger than it is and I could squish it and I've been bitten. Oh, my God, it's moved. Because if you don't believe it in here, then it's not worth tuppence. So where the self-hypnosis comes in, we get your horse. Remember we talk about the horse and rider? We get your horse to believe it. So it's almost like doing CBT on your horse rather than on the rider. And that's where this ABC model comes in. Have a look on the module. It explains it in greater detail. And there's also a link where you can download some DTRs, some daily thought records, so that you can work on this for yourself. Because when you get stuff in that column D, where you're disputing your old belief structure, that's the stuff you can feed into your own subconscious. That's where you can start beginning to believe stuff for yourself.